was formerly on the Fishers Arts Council. I had 2 terms on the Arts Council. They threw me off because you can only, after 2 terms, you have to leave. Oh, but they said, would you still please do the interviews for us? And I said, of course, I'd be happy to, because that's what I do, right? All right. And I told these guys, everybody's nervous. I never embarrass people until I get to know them better. And then, so if they show up again, they may be in trouble, right? But tonight, you're safe. Hazel especially is just quaking over here, but she's okay, because she's an artist and she knows, right? Right, Hazel? Okay. We have, let me give you, and I'm going to turn on my mic here. A little bit of, all right, it is sensitive tonight, okay. A little bit of background about just exactly what's going on here. This is always our month in the Fishers Arts Council, and we do, we have an exhibit every month, and every month we have a reception for that exhibit, and the next month is people with disabilities, and there'll be a reception also on the second Friday of the month for that show. But tonight's show, this month's show is a little bit unique because it's not only about Black culture, but it's about student response to the prompt that their art teacher gave them, which is, and I'm going to share this with you, about W.E.B. Du Bois, who talked about how Black people in the United States, as well as in other countries, often felt that they were living with 2 different identities. One identity was how they saw themselves and how they see themselves, and the other identity is how society sees them and judges, like stereotypes or unfair expectations. And the explanation that Shelley gave to the students is that it's like standing in front of 2 mirrors, one where you see yourself and one where it's how others see you, like looking into both mirrors at the same time. He called that double consciousness. And the question, of course, is the artist part of your life, in the artist part of your life, do you see yourself as a different person than others see you? Now, I like this question and I like this assignment, but I think we could even take it further, okay, as you listen to what everybody has to say. We all have, regardless of skin color, we all have a perception of who we are, and we all have to deal with a perception of who somebody else thinks we are. And I was telling Shelley before that one of the most hurtful things anybody ever said to me in my whole life was when I got engaged to my wonderful husband. And we were both teachers. That's how we met. We met on the first day on the job after graduation from college. And one of my mother's friends came up to me and she looked at me and she said, how did you ever manage to land him? Which is just nasty. I mean, so that led me to think, good Lord, what does she see? What is my husband to me? What does Tom see in me that obviously she didn't see in me, right? So we can carry that over into the art that we produce too. So we have 4 artists here, 2 of them students. Wave. And 2 adults. Wave. And I'm going to start with Kat. This is Kat. And I'm going to give you a mic. You're welcome. And Kat is a professor at Ball State in the Department of Education. And and I have a master's degree from Ball State, I told her, in English, good school. And you've been here, what, about a year and a half, you said? Yeah, about a year and a half. And so she has, I sent them, everybody got questions. And then from the way they answer the questions, that's how I write the questions I'm going to ask them. Okay, so here's your first question, Kat. You said, you told me in your response, that at times there are reactions to your artwork, to your own artwork, that indicate surprise, and that their surprise can illustrate an example of looking into two mirrors at the same time, because you carry yourself in the world one way, and you carry yourself as an artist in another way. Would you share, please, something about the two worlds you inhabit?
Sure, thank you. A pleasure to be here. So I think I would say that in my day life, most of the time, the things I do are very buttoned up, they're very exact. I'm a researcher, I'm a professor, all of that. Everything has to be really specific and scientific in so many ways. And with my art, I'm allowed so much freedom to express myself in ways that I wouldn't in a professional setting. And so I get to express what I see in the world, how I view the world, how the world sees me, and I get to put that on canvas, and anger and feelings and emotion and my view of the things that are going on in the world that otherwise may not land in other spaces. I get to create a new place for myself, and then hopefully others will see it and it will mean something to them. So for myself, as a Black person, as a woman, as an immigrant, and all of these things, the person with a disability, the painting allows me to speak in other ways where it's not always safe to verbalize. And so that's the space where I get to contrast what other people may see or think of me in a day-to-day space.
You said your art, oh, and by the way, we have our lovely sign language lady who's always here with us. I love her. She's wonderful. Did you buy that baby in the last time?
I did not. No.
Oh, you did not. Oh my gosh, darn. Okay. You said that your art is an almost dangerous expression of yourself because it is linked to your life as a Black immigrant woman. In what way would you see your art as a dangerous expression, and dangerous to whom?
I think to the status quo, dangerous to power, dangerous to people that may want to limit you or tell you what they think you are or who you should be. And so I think if you are not expecting color and different storytelling through art like mine, often has been the home and being from different places and all kinds of lived experiences, I then am piercing through the fine art world, which is another gate-kept world. And so I think it's dangerous for so many reasons, because typically where someone like me may be excluded, I am finding my own way to do my own thing that's important for me. And so it's dangerous to be free, and in art, I'm the most free that I will ever be.
Have you found that you get criticized for that?
Not to my face. Maybe behind my back.
Well, my mother had a friend, you know, I could have her come and talk to you. She'll be happy to insult you. When people critique your work, what do they say?
They say more often than not that it's so abstract. They didn't know that they could see so much at so many different times, and it speaks to them different ways. I majority paint in an abstract way. I'm self-taught. I've been painting more seriously for about a year now, and I don't do things in a traditional way. My art is it's just wild and different. And so for me, I think people don't expect that because I'm so buttoned up in my day job and other spaces. And in my art, you'll find other versions of me, but it's all me nonetheless.
And in what way does the art that you have in this particular show portray the real you?
I would say qualitatively her, for example, is faithless and she could be anyone, but also it is so me because at any point in time I have to switch everything for whatever group I'm in front of. And so she has no distinct facial features except for the red lipstick, which is what I'm wearing right now. And so with that piece or the other piece, here or there, Oh My God makes me, it's like thinking about people that came before me and all they had to sacrifice for me to be where I am today and all of their hard work that I get to enjoy the fruits of their labor. So that piece tells the story of many people in my ancestral line, and so that's part of that.
And how do you know when you've created something that pleases you? Because I'm a painter, not of their quality, but I'm a painter. And boy, sometimes I look at it and I'll do it in my head, and in my head it will be scrumptious. It'll be just gorgeous. It will just shine, you know, and I can't wait to get it done. And then I had somebody tell me that the two hardest strokes for an artist are the first one and the last one. And I'll look at it after I've painted it for a few days and I'll go, oh yuck. And I'll put it away. And then maybe I'll get it out later. So how do you know when you've created something that pleases you, and how do you know when it's finished?
That's a very good and hard question. I know when it's finished often when my husband will look at me and say, let me see that again. Can you show that one to me again? If it catches his eye, I know that I've done something also right. But for me, I know it's finished when I don't want to add anything more to it. Because I can keep adding and then ruin something, which happens all the time. And I'm like, why did I do that? But for me, when it's finished, I feel like it tells the complete story of what I'm looking for it to tell, and others can interpret that story however they want to. So that's how I know that I'm really, really finished with something.
Okay. I did have a very good friend of mine, an artist, tell me that he's finished when his wife tells him he's finished. And so he gave us another version. You're finished when your husband says, okay, let me see that again. That's very good. That means that he can assist you. Okay, good. All right. You want to pass that to, yeah, leave it on and pass that. I have another set of questions here, so give me a second.